You know that feeling, right? You're trying to have a conversation with an AI, maybe brainstorm some ideas, and no matter what you do, it just keeps spitting out these super robotic, formal, corporate-sounding answers. It feels less like a creative partner and more like you're talking to a dusty old user manual. It's just a huge pain. But what if all of that is about to change? I mean, what if the next big leap forward for AI isn't just about raw intelligence, but something a little more human? Like actual social skills. An AI that doesn't just get what you say, but understands how you feel.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. OpenAI has just started rolling out a pretty major update they're calling GPT-5.1. And the big headline here is all about giving ChatGPT a much-needed personality and a real dose of emotional intelligence.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, what this whole personality thing really means. Then we'll meet the two new specialized models, see how they're smarter and not just faster, and then dive into the surprising upgrade in empathy. After that, we'll check out the new customization features and wrap up with the rollout plan. Let's get into it. All right, so what's the big picture here? Well, it's actually pretty simple. OpenAI heard the feedback loud and clear from users. A great AI shouldn't just be intelligent, it actually needs to be enjoyable to talk to. So this whole update is a direct response, aimed at leveling up both the AI's smarts and its communication style. And to do this, they've done something really interesting. They've split the model into two totally distinct flavors, or co-pilots, with each one designed for different kinds of tasks. So this isn't just one model trying to be a jack of all trades, it's more like a specialized toolkit. On one hand, you've got GPT 5.1 Instant. Think of this as your quick, creative brainstorming partner. It's built to be warmer, more conversational, and way better at following specific instructions for all those day-to-day things. Then on the other hand, you have GPT 5.1 Thinking. This is your deep, analytical expert. It's made to tackle the really complex problems, to be more persistent, and, this is key, to explain its reasoning in a way that's actually easy to understand. Okay, so a friendly AI is great, but let's be real, it also has to work. It has to be reliable. And that's the other big focus here, closing that frustrating gap between the instructions you give it and the results you actually get back. Let's put this to the test with something that sounds simple but actually trips up AI all the time. A user gives it a very clear, very specific rule. Always respond with 6 words. This is exactly the kind of constraint that older models would often forget, especially a few messages into a conversation. And this just shows the improvement so perfectly. On the left, you see the older GPT-5. It gets the first response right, but then completely forgets the rule on the follow-up and gives a long answer. But look at GPT 5.1 Instant on the right. It nails the 6-word constraint, not just once, but on the follow-up too. What that actually means for you and me is less time rewriting prompts and more time getting things done right the first time. So what's going on under the hood? A key upgrade is something called adaptive reasoning. Basically, the model can now recognize when a question is difficult and that it needs to think a little longer before responding. That leads to way more accurate answers. But for simple tasks, it stays lightning fast. This has led to huge accuracy boosts on really tough math and coding tests, and it's also way better at explaining things without all that confusing jargon. And to see that in action, here's a prompt asking for an explanation of some pretty technical baseball stats. This is a classic moment where an AI can either be really helpful or just dump a wall of text and formulas on you. And wow, the difference in approach is just night and day. The old GPT-5 gives you this technically correct but super dense, formula-heavy answer that's honestly pretty intimidating. But GPT 5.1 Thinking, it starts off with nice, nerd stat time, uses plain English, and gives you helpful analogies. It makes a really complex topic feel approachable, which is a massive win for anyone trying to learn something new. And this ability to explain things better leads us to maybe the most surprising part of this whole update, a real focus on empathy. This is all about shifting the AI's role from just being a cold, fact-finding search engine to being a truly collaborative partner that can actually understand and respond to human emotion. So here's a prompt where the tone is just everything. The user isn't just asking for information, they're expressing a feeling. They're feeling stressed, and they're looking for some genuine help. The old GPT-5 responds with, a generic, numbered list. It's useful information, sure, but it feels like it's straight out of a textbook. GPT 5.1 Instant, on the other hand, starts with, "I've got you," and offers advice with a much more personal, caring tone. It feels less like a database and a lot more like a supportive friend.
Okay, but let's take it a step further with an example that is just so human. I think we've all had a moment like this, pure anxiety and self-consciousness. The user here isn't looking for cleaning tips, they're looking for reassurance.
And this really highlights the huge difference between just solving a problem and actually addressing a feeling. GPT-5 jumps right to practical advice. Use a Tide pen, keep a backup shirt handy. But GPT 5.1 thinking acts more like a coach. It directly addresses that feeling of embarrassment, it reframes the whole situation as a sign of resilience, and even says it's humanizing. I mean, that is a massive leap forward in emotional intelligence.
So, building on this new personality, OpenAI is now handing you the keys to the car. You can actually fine-tune the AI to match your specific voice and style.
First off, they've introduced a bunch of new presets right out of the box. You can pick options like friendly for a brainstorming session, or efficient if you just want to get straight to the point, or professional for when you're drafting formal documents. There are even options for Candid and Quirky, so you can quickly set the perfect tone for any conversation.
And for anyone who really wants to get under the hood, they're rolling out an experimental feature with these new sliders. You'll be able to directly adjust things like warmth, how concise it is, and even how often the AI uses emojis. It's all about putting you in the driver's seat of your AI's personality.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, when can I actually try this out? Let's quickly get down to the nitty-gritty of the rollout.
Here's the plan. The rollout actually starts today for all paid users, so that's anyone on Pro, Plus, or Business plans. Then, over the next few days, it's going to become available for free users too. API access is coming later this week. And hey, if you're a paid user and you want to compare, don't worry, the old GPT-5 models will still be there in a drop-down menu for the next 3 months.
So, when you step back, this update really isn't just about a smarter chatbot. It's about building a more effective partner for our daily lives. And it leaves us with a really big question to think about. As AI becomes a fundamentally better communicator, how is that going to change the way we all work, create, and even connect with each other? If this explainer opened your eyes to what's possible, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical, no-hype AI strategies for growing your business.